All right, so we put a thread of analysis just last night regarding ticker symbol GDC and our expectations of a continuation to the upside, of which, by the way, we absolutely got. Congratulations to those of you who picked up risk on this play. Congratulations to those of you who asked the questions and followed along for continuation into risking on the asset, right? So I love it, team. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and find out if this thing actually does have the continuation signals for the targets that we were observing just a day ago. All right, so before we get started, guys, please do me the favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca. I'm actually coming at you today, September 15th, Monday, 10:23 p.m. Pacific time. GDC closing time intraday was 9:73, and we're actually catching just about a 9:46 post market. Okay, guys, so that's actually pretty damn good considering the massive upside that we got. And take a look at this, right? It's starting to kind of look very similar to the prior closes on the post market. I find it interesting that it is running on this upside, and it feels completely confluent to your S&P or the indices in general. So, I don't even know if you're knowing this right now, but at 10:23 p.m. Pacific time, as we are speaking right now, the ES is about 60 some odd points to the upside on a massive gap up, which could, in essence, I'm not going to say manipulate, but it could give some reason for GDC to continue towards that upside. Now, I don't see there to be any 24-hour book on GDC whatsoever, so we're going to have to do this a la carte and find out if this has that. I mean, if it really does have that rocket fuel for the upside targets, of which we talked about just yesterday, into the zones of this area here, 1049 to 1412. 1267 would be the center bound. Actually, it would be roughly, around 1217 to 1267. Guys, before we get started, I need to tell you about these scammers, right? The moment you join Discord, you're going to get a direct message from somebody who appears to be like me. It's not me, right? And I'm noticing here that a lot of people are starting to message me now saying, is this you? Or validating if that's actually me that they're talking to. Well, I kind of have to burst the bubble here and say that no, that's definitely not me that you're talking to. So you're talking to someone else. It could be an imposter. So make sure, guys, that if you are going to be, contacting me, know that you are going to have to do it first. I will never, ever friend you first or ever message you first. I seriously can't do that, guys, and I won't. I really won't do that. Okay, so take a look at this screen here. This is my personal profile, right? Make sure that it has all these things in it, right? I do not offer copy or mirror trades ever. I'm the one and only Arca. Make sure to get into the tag, right? Get the tag, adopt it, right? And then know for a fact, guys, that it's like this whole, effect thing going on. I'm not sure if they're paying for that now, but I pay for different ones of this just so that I can be kind of unique, right? But all good in the hood, guys. Now, know that we're about to up the prices on this, guys. $59.99 a month is what's going to be next. And absolutely reach in the description below, because those links in the link in the bottom is going to expire in the next 2 days here, guys. And that opportunity to get in grandfathered for one literally transaction is going to expire, and I'm not going to offer it again. Okay, guys. So make sure to take advantage of that and receive one premium algorithm from the Arca Bulls trade systems. And I'm really talking about premium, not talking about lights. I'm talking about all the way, the one versions. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and stop the shilling here and get ourselves into the analysis, because that is why we're here. Okay, guys, so that is presently what we're looking at here on GDC. The top side targets are still there. I'm fixed, right? 1049, 1267, 1412. Do we get that continuation to the upside or do we not? So why don't we just kind of make this a little easier and see if we can't just get our targets via, the volatility and momentum, right? It was a little easier yesterday as we did have the breakout potentials of, this looked like an inverse head and shoulder. So we did get that top side, of which, a lot of formations are doing that. A lot of tickers are doing this here right now. I am going to tell you now that I'm going to tell you right now, guys, that the volatility is going to be everywhere, right? Price action likely has more upside, right? But know that at certain points we may get some corrections. I'm going to choose to say this on this video here. So I feel like there could be either two situations here when it comes to the Fed interest rate decision. Should the Fed choose to cut by 50 basis points on one shot, so if they do a 50 bip cut, that may actually send the market right to the upside. But I believe that we, at this present moment, seeing the way that the ES is reacting, I believe that we're pre-pricing in the additional two cuts, being 25 bips each. So if it is that fact and we only cut the 25 bips on this coming meeting, I believe that the market may sell off, right, correct, and then continue doing its thing. But there is a potential warning here, and that would be displayed to you in the eyes of, I mean, for real, it would be the eyes of the this here. Let me just show you here. I'm just, there we go. This is the ES at the present moment, guys. This is the S&P 500 E-mini futures contracts giving us a gigantic jump right here. The prior day close on the ES was 66.2150, and we are at 66.8575 on an asset that moves just about $58, right? 58 points on a daily average true range. So that's obviously way overextended already, and still moving onwards and upwards. So keep that in mind here, guys. Okay, I need you to bear that in mind here, because there's a lot of dynamics here that can present a lot of danger for the markets. That's your warning there. That gap is the warning. So should we get the data that we don't want, my goodness in heaven, that would be an interesting situation, to say the very, very least. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at this here. All right, so I'm going to start from a very, very, very granular time frame. I'm going to do this from a 2-minute and get ourselves away from any of these things here. Okay. Man, okay, so we did face a pretty sharp downside. 2-minute time frame has downside continuation. Let's do this quickly. 4-minute time frame downside, right? What I'm looking for is extension of acceleration on volatility and downside posturing on your stochastic, right? So 5-minute time frame is giving us the downside continuation, cascading into the 10. Yes, it is. 15-minute time frame downside, 20 downside, 30 downside, hourly and bi-hourly still to the downside. That's going to be your 3 hours and 4 hours, maybe the last one here. So let me just validate that real quick. In fact, it's got a kink, so it is technically still downside onto this. Let me see your three. Yeah, my goodness. 6-hour time frame. My goodness in heaven. Let's see if this. Okay, so 8 hours would be the total amount of downside that we could face. So if this thing closed at roughly 9, what was it in the post hours? Yeah, 9:46, right? So if this thing opens up at 9:46, we could be looking at a retrace that is worth just around 61 cents. So that puts us just below the $9 zone, right? So into your 890s or something like that. So if we get that, what could that be? Let me go ahead and just kind of plot that out here and see what's up. So 8, roughly around here, right? So let me get the drawings out of the way. Oh my goodness. Don't, is it for real there? Okay, great. Let me open up your daily time frame and see what's up. Guess what? It's a 50% retrace. It's a 50% retrace, right? And that's it's all good. No problem there whatsoever. In fact, I will say that it may actually even try to test your 841. And is that telling me that we have a bi-daily close? No, almost. Let me see, 3-day, 4-day. Oh, we got a 5-day close today. Jeez. Okay, so that, yeah, I have to suggest that bottom side too. Okay, so there is a focus on this area, right? The total zone for support for maybe risk on conditions, and I wouldn't really suggest it so close to the Fed, guys. There's going to be a lot of volatility here, but I do think that there could be continuation to the upside if this survives or has any liquidity available for a downside into this area of the 891 to 787. Fine. You know what? We could actually see the reaction for a bounce from this zone here. Fine. Okay, that's cool. But that doesn't guarantee it, okay, guys? So if this really does pull back the market, that would probably be because it opened near these highs. But what if this opened already at the take profit? I probably wouldn't risk entering here, okay? I'm just saying that as a condition because, I mean, sure, you could face a bounce from here, right? Even if it already reached the targets, you can still face a bounce from here and still double top for a continuation to the downside specifically. So I think that we would have to be specifically careful right now, okay, team? So I mean, yeah, guys, that's really what I'm saying here, and man, it could extend, but not, now let's say this. So from your 837 and upside starts, your 12-hour time frame, that looks like it's already, oh my goodness, dude. It's not officially downside, so I'm not going to consider it just yet. Your daily time frame is likely going to continue into firing off this signal here for upside continuation. Your 2-day time frame is not done. This is expanding with a massive upside. Your 3-day time frame is still massively going. My goodness, dude. What the hell is this doing? 4-day time frame still thrusting to that upside, guys. And we close the 5-day, and this is, dude, my goodness. This is likely to continue to the upside still. Your weekly time frame is still postured to the upside. Bi-weekly time frame still postured to the upside. I mean, it is absolutely throttling to the upside with expansion, by the way. And I'm afraid to even look at the 3 weeks, guys. Oh my goodness. Damn. The 6-week close. Good God. This is really, really, really strong. Okay, if we consider a 6-week top, current ATR top would lead to 1540. So if I have to put down a hard target on that, well, actually, we kind of sort of did, right? That would be around here. 1540 would be equivalent still. Your 3-week time frame would also have an ATR top of what? What? That would be a 1042. Oh, right. Look at that. 1049. Nice. Yeah, guys. Okay. I'm sticking to the targets no matter what. I think that there may be an opportunity to enter the markets, but I can't validate any more than that, right? And remember, it's still, we have a catalyst coming out, and that could impair your trajectory here. But I'm not backing down from what I am looking at here. Okay, team. This is still the target ranges that I'm potentially expecting here for these for this asset. So that would be 1412. Good. All right, team. So yeah, this is pretty much what I'm talking about here, guys. I need you to be very careful. Do not over lever, right? Do not feel like you need to play the hero into these days, as uncertainty may be there. I know that we have a lot of bets for the rate cut, and I do think that it would be absolutely amazing for us to do it and find some liquidity in the downside before upside continuation. Yes, but I need you to focus and focus and focus here, okay, team? But I love you all very much, and we will speak very, very, Jerry, Scary Larry soon. Okay, team? Thank you, and adios, adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But I'm sorry, man. With that said, I wish you well, a very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Oh, yeah.